So this is part two, which is kind of wild that I've like stopped and started to record, coming back, but I don't want to play the game anymore. Right. I recognized years ago, and I mean, I have to be honest that I have played this game. I've sat back and I've known that there are forces, and when I say forces, I mean people, because we're all forces. Every single one of us is a force within ourselves. And so I've recognized that there are forces, meaning there are actual people who are behind, um, clouding the eyes of, um, everyday human beings, but specifically me, a black woman, and black people. Hmm. As I say that, I think to myself, well, I don't want to just single out black people, but no, I really do, because I'm a black woman. And so I have a lived experience, an experience that I'm actually living right now, right? Where I know I'm very well aware of who I am, meaning who I am as a person, as a black human woman living, breathing, but also as an entity that is love. Okay. Um, I recognized the veil that is being placed over our eyes. And I remember it specifically. I was in the parking lot of State Farm. And I saw the, or I experienced like what these entities create so that all of us human beings do not recognize, like we're constantly being, reprogrammed into this life experience, this system, this belief system, this view of the world. And I say that because there are so many people who are still living within, uh they're living in situations that they don't like. It's obvious in their behavior because their behavior is reflecting it. We're unhappy. Myself, I'm not excluding myself from this. I have sort of, made myself a hermit. I have kept myself in my home. Um, so because I'm aware of what's going on, but I am one of those people. But I cannot continue to sit back and not speak on my experience. I cannot be blind to what is happening. I cannot be blind to, um, being consciously aware that my energy force, my beingness is being used, right? It's being siphoned from me, really, and then brought back to me. It's being shown to me. It's been reflected back to me, and it is being also done to, reinforce a system that is not for my benefit. Right, but my awareness is also that I'm not the only one that that's happening to. I'm aware that I am not the only person that that is happening to. I'm not the only being that has become aware that their, uh, energetic force is being used. Now they, some people have figured out a way to make that work to their benefit, right? That they have taken back their energy. They have recognized that we are beings, and there is a system set in place that will utilize that for their benefit, to keep us, to keep you, to keep myself in a certain box, a certain mental state, a certain entrainment. And I cannot participate in it anymore. And I cannot worry whether anyone else agrees with that participation. And that has been the burden of me. I have had the burden of worrying about, being concerned about whether someone else will agree with me. Do you see what's happening? Do you understand it? Don't you see what is happening out here? Why are you agreeing to this? Come with me, agree with me, and then let's not allow this to happen. And I can't. I can't. But I have to speak it. I have to get the words out of my mouth. But what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? You mean to tell me that what are you saying? I'm saying that we are infinitely more powerful than we know. All we simply need to do is utilize our voices and speak and say what our experience is. And my experience as love is that there are forces that are in place that specifically intend for certain groups of people, certain energies to not realize themselves. Meaning that they do not want your beingness, who you are innately, to be realized, for you to remember and realize who you are, because it does not serve them. All right, I'm not talking about like this ominous, you cannot figure out, you can't determine. These are actual people, because I'm an actual person. I'm a real person. I'm love, but I am real, right? This is 2022. 2022, October. I'm a living being. I have a name that was given to me when I was born, but I also am aware of who I am. I'm aware of who I am. I see what's being reflected back to me. I hear it. I feel it. I have heard you. I've heard you. I have been asking, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to, I've been looking for all these various ways to show up, to simply speak, because I've been knowing that I've been pulled in a certain direction. I've been knowing it. I've been hearing it. I've been hearing you. And I just I have been trying to find the way to simply say the words that I'm saying now. And I simply being told, just speak. We just need you to speak your truth. My truth is, I've been here. I am here. I know who I am. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything other than I'm here. I know who I am, and I want you all to do the same. To be aware that you have a voice. Your life experience is the culmination of you. Use your voice in this time when you are being called to speak your truth, to just whatever it is that wants to come forward, because there is a message. There's something that you are to contribute, that every single one of us is to contribute, because there is a much bigger picture of workings that is happening. I'm just here experiencing it and finding my place in it, remembering who I am in it all. Any doubt that comes up within your experience when you are being moved to speak, is evidence of the entities and powers that are at work at all times to delay you, hinder you, and or prevent you from speaking your real truth, your living truth as a being that exists in this body. Whatever thoughts that you are having, who I am and who you are is not a secret to the people that have the power, that have influenced the system that we live in currently. There is not a human being on this planet that is to live any life that is limited in any way, shape, or form. And when I say in any way, shape, or form, I'm not just talking about your a monetary abundance. I'm talking about you are not to be limited in your physical life on this planet. Mentally, your mental state should not be limited. There should not be a time that you believe that there is something that you want to do that you cannot do. Your emotional state, your ability to be able to feel into what is happening around you, whether you can or can't, or you have yourself in a box that makes you feel like you can't, there should be no limitation on that. Your spirituality should not be capped by what any story that you have heard ever. There is no limitation on what has created everything. Meaning the spark that the idea, the fact that you are sitting here being able to watch me, listen to me, hear me, wherever you are. These words that are coming out of my mouth, specifically, the fact that you're able to do that, there's no story that has been told of that existence There are so many stories that have come about, that have been made in order for us to understand the complexity of the spiritual nature, which is of that thing that none of us can see. Right? There have been countless stories told of it, mythical stories, fantastical stories, stories in science that try to explain the thing that we cannot see, that we cannot put our hands on, that is not tangible to us, that we try to make tangible. But we in these bodies have the ability to experience day in and day out the enormous, I don't even know the words to describe. We have the ability to tap in to what that power is, entity is, creative force is. We can do it every day, all day. Yet, we will take ourselves, we'll do that, and then we get to a point and someone has told the story, someone has created an image for us to see that we fall in line with, and we say, no, I can't do that. I don't have the ability to do that, even though we have experienced the power of everything, all that is running through us to allow us to create something in our lives, or simply to sit and speak. As I sit here, the words that I say, they sound like they may feel like a rant, and I guess they are a rant in a way. They're a rant for myself because I have allowed myself to sit in a space where I have known without a shadow of a doubt that there is indeed a power that is more powerful than any entity, any belief system, any structure that has ever been. But there is an intelligence there that surpasses anything that man has created and attempts to create in order to keep the individual from realizing who they are. They've created things to intently keep you from simply being who you are. So my rant is, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm here doing it because I need to speak it. It is what I do. I have to say the words coming out of my mouth. I have to address it. I can address it to myself, which I normally do, but there are too many people who are aware, who are watching what's happening. And my silence is essentially condoning what's happening, but I cannot be silent anymore, and I won't be silent. I'm not going to act like I'm not who I am. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not who I am. I know that there will be plenty of people who will look at me and will say, this girl, this young black girl is crazy. I am crazy to think that I'm going to walk around here and allow any system or belief system or structure to tell me that I don't have the voice that I have, and that every other human being around here doesn't have the voice that they have, and that they have to live up under the conditions that this system has arranged for us. No, it wasn't designed like that. I'm not going to sit back no matter what you all throw at me. I already know the amount of money that can be made. In fact, I know that you all owe me money because you've been utilizing my energy. You've been utilizing my essence to create an environment that isn't real. So yes, you can call me crazy. That's fine. You can put me right along with the people who you say are crazy. I'm okay with that. But you are going to pay me and you are going to release all these people, because I'm not going to walk around here like what's happening isn't happening. There have been way too many experiences that I have been aware of that simply don't add up. Meaning, y'all know exactly what you're doing. You already know what is going on. You have people in place that are playing their roles, trying to see how I or other people, when you know that they're aware, how they're going to react, how they're going to show up, whether they're going to react in a way where you consider them maybe hostile. The world that we live in is upside down. It is created to make you believe that you don't have any power here, that you are subject to that you're subject to just what is. That isn't it. People, I keep hearing, you just need to show up. You just need to show up places. And I get that. I get that. I have kept myself in this little box because I have felt like it's safer. But it's not safe. It's not safe as I sit here in this place, not really living who I am, not really being who I am, not really living the life that is mine. It's mine. But it's yours too. Like, it's yours too. Like, every single one of us has a life that has been given to us simply because we exist. And we existed. Like, there are things that are due to us. They're owed. They're a part of our birthright. It's part of what has been passed down through our lineage. Eventually, we all have to wake up to our own complicitness, even if it was you were unaware, consciously unaware. But at all times there has been you are who you are, so your awareness is always there. And we have choices to make. Every single one of us. Every single one of us has free will and free choice. And we choose to keep ourselves in bondage sometimes. I've chosen to keep myself in bondage, feeling like it was safer, feeling like it was better for me. It's not better for me, and it's not better for anyone else. It's not better for any other soul on this planet for me to go along with the game, the party as it has been played. That is, who wants to play that game? That I'm not who I am, that you're not who you are, and that you are at effect to the circumstances around you. Every single one of us is a force. Every single one of us is a force. And I mean that in literal terms. Not like I'm a force to be reckoned with. Yes, you are. But I mean, like, if you look in if you're able to look at a galaxy, if you're able to look at a galaxy and you can zoom in, like, you are a star within a galaxy that is on Earth. You're a force. Your lineage goes all the way back to the beginning of existence. Now, you can run your family line as far back. There's not a time that your energetic force did not exist. It's not possible. It's not possible. So when you come to the realization of your existence, of who you are, and someone comes in who's trying to make you believe that you don't have the power to do what you want to do, you have always been here. You've always been here. You're connected to a power that always has been. You have you've never seen it. You don't know how it began, if it ever ends. You're a part of that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, sitting here, listening to me, watching me. It wouldn't be possible, right? Your conscious awareness of what is happening in this moment is evident that you're connected to everything. So I asked myself, as I'm contemplating everything that I'm saying here to you, I don't want to play this game anymore. I asked myself, what does it look like if I don't play the game anymore? How do I show up in the world if I no longer play the game? I'm disrupting. I mean, I don't know what that looks like exactly, but I know that I'm disrupting the status quo. I'm aware of that because I've been complicit in it, consciously aware of my complicitness in it. So now that I'm saying to myself, saying to you, I'm not playing this game anymore. Now it's what does it look like for me to show up onto the world and say in my behavior, in my thought, in my speech, that I'm not playing this game, that I don't have full control over what is happening out here. Right? Because I know who I am, and I'm not going to walk around this planet acting like I don't know that. I'm not going to act like I've forgotten that I'm connected to all that is. That is what's powering me every single day. That is what's powering the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not going to act like that's not happening. I'm not I just am tired of acting like that. Like, we're not all in control of our own individual lives. We are in the driver's seat. There is nothing that has any control over us unless we allow it in the moment. And why would we allow it in the moment? Why do we allow that? Why do we allow the circumstances around us, the structures that are around us, these stories that are around us to tell us that we don't have control, that they have more control than we do? What it looks like for me, let me just get back to that question. What that looks like for me is that I don't need to be, I don't need to be aggressive. What I do know in my lived experience is that my energy has preceded me. And it's not even necessary for me to walk into spaces with rah-rah, with, aggressive energy, because my energy has preceded me. I know. I know I'm loved. I don't need anyone to confirm or deny. That's already been done. So I just need to show up. Just notice. All right, I need to just notice. I need to show up in places that I want to be, not being concerned about how to get there, but simply showing up in the places that I want to be and just noticing and allowing myself to be. And when I feel compelled to speak, to speak. But because of the work, then the energy has preceded me, and I've been able to see that this isn't something that I'm unaware of. If you this isn't something that I'm unaware of. So for a while, because I have wanted to find people that that either understood me or that was having a similar experience as me, I was trying to get people to come along with me. And I would do a lot of explaining what I was doing or what I wanted to do. And I just have no desire to do that anymore. I think that, no, I'm aware that, the things that come out of our mouths are not unheard, right? No matter who's in the room. right? No matter if you're in the room by yourself. Like right now, I'm in the room by myself, but you're here listening to this. Well, actually, I'm not. It's a fly that just, I got the door open, so a fly just came in here. But a bug. But um your words, the things that come out of your mouth, the things that you say are not unheard. Right? That is that is that's how our lives are created, because we speak things into existence. We speak it out into the universe. And so it's heard by the universal elements in order for what we desire to become real, to realize itself. It's also heard by the powers that be, those individuals that have placed themselves in power. It is also to their benefit. They hear it too, and they've created they've created things in order to manage that. I'm not playing this game no more. I mean, it is the line, the line of getting caught in the trappings of the life, living the life of our dreams, living the things that we want. We can't do that, but we have to be honest with ourselves and honest with each other about what this system is and what is actually happening here. When you become aware, and when you are experiencing this life through your real eyes, your spiritual eyes, you cannot, your spirit will not allow you to continue to be complicit in the system as it has been constructed and designed. My spirit cannot. Not for the people that I know, and not for the people that I know are who are still bound mentally and spiritually, specifically, physically as well, not having whole nutritional foods to feed their bodies with so that they can be in line, so that their bodies can be balanced. Yes, I'm ranting. I am ranting. Yes, I am an angry black woman. I frankly am cool with getting that label. If people want to label me that, I'm cool with that. In this moment, I feel like, oh, you need to get to work and doing something. And I'm like, doing what? Continuing to do something that keeps up with this system, that keeps us in this trap of being on this constant rat race. Like, I got to do something to make money. The only thing that I need to do is get my folks out of this dream. The dream that we are not living beings. And I want to curse so bad right now. I just want to let this shit loose. I just want to let it loose. I'm so... And I'm like, I could talk right now. I could keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. But who's hearing me? Who is hearing me? I don't know if anybody is actually hearing me. Like, there is no way that I am the only being out here. I know I'm not, right? I'm seeing people who are talking about knowing who you are. There's all of these stories. Oh, people want partnership. I get that. People want to find their spouse. They want to find their mate. They want to have babies. They want the job. They want the money. They want the cars. They want the business. They want all of this stuff. But where your spirit at? Where is it at? Is it here? Is it aware of what's going on? Is it aware that as you get in all of these things, that there are all of these other souls who still sleep, still unaware, still in the dark, still in their shadow, still believing that there is something else outside of them? People look at you crazy when you start talking about it. You start talking about life, real life. As a human being, as a spirit that's in a human being body, who's living and experiencing this life as we're living it with all the things that we do. People looking at you crazy like, what you talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Are y'all telling me y'all don't know what I'm talking about? I mean, you know what? I love to party like the next person. I do. I love to be in good company with people. I love to have a good time. But I've been sitting in my house because I'm like, what? I, am I the only one here who, I mean, to go out to a place and have a good time? What is we talking about if we ain't talking about, listen, how we gonna get up out of these situations? How we gonna get all our folks to understand, like, there's a whole set of people who has done an exceptional job of keeping the common human man and woman from not understanding that they are the gods of their own individual lives. They are the gods. They have control over their lives. They are intimately, infinitely connected to the power. They got a direct connect. They can DM that, whatever you want to call it. Whatever your people, your religion, whatever they call it. If we ain't talking about that, what is we talking about exactly? What exactly are we talking about? If we are not talking about that, if we are not getting people to see and realize that they are gods of their own experience, they walk around here every single day on this planet, on this land, as a god of their own experience. I don't care what age they are. They come in here like that. They leave out of here like that. We all here like that. Is this a rant? Yes, this is a rant. This is a rant. And I'm a rant probably every day. So I'm trying to figure out, what? How many miracles y'all want to see a day? I mean, I have had to ask myself that plenty of times. How many times do you need to see it for you to be convinced? On the opposite side, the other day, I just heard about this another school shooting. Same thing. How many times you got to see that until somebody step up and say, what the fuck is going on here? How is it that we all walking around here with direct connection to the force that powers every single one of us and every human being, but we walk around here like we ain't got no power, no control. We gotta be at the mercy of what these people out here who put on their pants just like you and me. We gotta be at the mercy of them and what they say. Y'all better stop playing with me. I'm not going to allow my energy to be used in a way that keeps people confused or controlled, misled. Some of y'all have felt me. You have already connected with me. I love y'all, but I love myself, and I will not. I'm not going to sit back and continue to be quiet. All of that other pettiness that I have, yes, observed, heard, I could care less. I do not care. I don't know you. We have not had any type of personal interaction. So I don't care about any shade that has come my way. But what I am very much concerned for is I will not walk around as a being knowing who I am and knowing that every single other being on this planet has direct access to the source that I have. And there's a system that is obviously in place to keep every single human being in that place. I don't play that game. I'm not going to sit and be quiet about that. Y'all can carry on with all the other whatever however my energy showed up for you is how it showed up. But you that you are not the mission. I don't have any ill will against anyone because I am here to do what I'm supposed to do. I am here as as me. It's who I am. And I'm not going to sit back and act like I don't know who I am. I am love. I am her. I exist. I am a real person. And I'm not going to act like I don't know who I am. I am a God right here on this planet living. And there are others who are. And every other single human being has that power in their lives. They have access to their creative power because that power is the only reason that you sit here, live, and breathe. And I'm not going to say I'm disconnected from it because I have had experiences, because somebody else down the line had some experience that made them bad or negative. Okay. And I'm still connected to it. And it ain't nothing that you can do or say that will disconnect me from it. You can say whatever you want to say. What do you do when you know who you are? What do you do? You cannot comply. I mean, I'm a rebel, I guess some would say. People have said that. I saw all of those, the rebel soul, the rebel spirit. I have seen the papers. I know that. Because everybody, all the other souls, all the other spirits have complied up to a point. This is ridiculous. There is no way that people should be walking around here as though they don't have power over their lives in every single aspect. Because of an experience that you've had, something that has made you believe, or some story that you have heard that made you believe that you are not who you are, because there are things that happen in your environment that may give you pushback when you try to assert who you are. No. I will not do that. And I will not allow anybody else that is around me to do it. Because that is contagious. Why would you do that? That's the reason that we are in the position that we are as a I don't know, society of human beings, that we're in the situation that we are because people have simply complied. The stories have been accepted. That is insane. I have tried my best. It has been very difficult for me to continue to walk around here and continue to try to find a way to put this message out to the masses. I'm trying to appeal to what people want. People are in financial positions, so they need to make money. So let me figure out a way that I can help people to make money. People are having emotional, mental issues, so let me figure out a way that I can be of service in that. But the real service is I have to walk around very clear that I am who I am and that I'm not going to allow any force, any person to come in the way of that. I don't care what your alphabet is. And I cannot allow the people to be around me to believe that they don't have that type of power or control in their own lives either. They wake up every single morning. They move about every single morning. They're not doing that. There's a power, a force that is running through us every single day that is collectively a part of all of us that is making all of these things happen. Why would I walk around here like I am not that? Like I'm not consciously aware of that I don't have any connection to that I can't utilize that for my ability. Yet the powers that be, those individuals, I don't know who they are, but I know that they exist, are working against me, against all of us, utilizing our own energy to keep us in these positions, in the belief that we don't have the control. No, So yes, the rant is real. It's probably gonna. I don't know. The rant will adjust. It'll change. I don't know. I think I'm probably just gonna keep saying this message, and people could find me crazy or passionate. I don't care what you call it. You don't have to call it anything. But I can't continue to participate in this. I can't continue to be quiet. I can't just sit here and be like, oh, okay, let me find some work to do. Let me figure out what. No, this is the work. This is the work. I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm not gonna. There is absolutely nothing that is of benefit to me in this world, in this planet, if I, as a spirit, as a soul, cannot simply show up as I am and live the life that is mine. It's mine. Nobody gave this to me. It's mine. Therefore, I have choices, free choice to do what I want with it. And what I want with it is not to comply with the system that I'm just at effect to what everybody around me, the systems that have been structured or that have been created, telling me that I need to be doing. And then all of these people around me are telling me, oh, this is the way you do it. Oh yeah, but y'all doing the same thing. I just got a different spin on the shit. Excuse my language. I am so sorry. Constantly, you want to do something, you try to do something, but you feel like, oh, I need to fit into this guideline, this look, the way they're supposed to look. I can't show up like this. I can't speak like this. I can't wear this. I can't. This type of constant regulation that is always present, and it's always present because there's always a present entity or power that is imposing upon us individually, so that we cannot be the free beings that we are. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. But not all of you, but some of you, those of you who I keep hearing, because I'm not crazy, I'm well aware. I hear a lot. It's insane. It's insanity. What's the insanity to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same results? Keep falling in line with everything that they push forward. As busy as it is, right? We are people who've been sitting at home for years, but we are busier than we have ever been because there is a constant rotation of something trying to get your attention. Right? Something to direct you somewhere. Oh, this is a new opportunity. Something is constantly there. Constantly distracting you from simply recognizing in the slowest period that we have probably had, where no one has had to go to work. We've had a pandemic. This is a global pandemic. Constantly keeping us busy so that we do not realize who we are as beings. That we don't actually have the time to tap into ourselves to realize that we have an actual birthright. The fact that we are living beings sitting here breathing, talking. That the life that I am seeing outside of my eyes is mine, that I own, and that I have control over it because I have control over me. And there isn't another entity or being that truly has that right. And nor do they have the power, but they will imply that they do. They will create systems and structures and constructs to portray, to give the idea, to give the appearance of their control over mine. You mean the things that you know, the what I see out of these eyes and what you see out of yours. The reflection that you see. So I don't know, for a long time I have been like, you know, I need to work. This is my work, because this other work is not satisfying. It's not even like, this is like what am I doing that for? What is the point in doing that? Yes, people want things, they want products, they want whatever they want. People want things, but what people really want is their autonomy. They want their life. People want themselves. They want to own themselves. They want to know that they own their life, that they have a right to their lives. So, I speak of my experience. Being able to see the evidence of you, your real self, your true self being reflected back to you in your environment. But also being able to see that that is being utilized to for me, I would say to keep me in a dream, right? Like a, you know, dream-like state, like the things that you're experiencing, those from my own personal experience, like supernatural experiences are not real, but they're very real. They're very real. The dreams that we all have, whether we are consciously aware of them or not, are very real. They are our real experiences as our spirit being able to traverse places, galaxies, realms. These are not stories to be made up in books or in movies. We're not here for we are not here to just live for a little while, work, and you could work if you choose to, but these are real experiences that you're having day in and day out. They're like, you don't turn off at a certain time. You're a living being. There are experiences that you're having constantly, and even when your eyes are closed and when you are asleep, those experiences are happening. That's your soul, that's your spirit. There's communication that is happening so that you could be aware of yourself, so that you could be aware of your environment, of what's happening around you, of your progression throughout life, throughout time. I mean, as I speak these words, I feel like even what we exist in today, this system, that this construct is so antiquated. The fact that the conversation even needs to be had here, that who we are as human beings isn't beyond this system that has been constructed. This is insane to me. That our spiritual systems, religions, are still operating off of the same paradigm, that even though individually we are having experiences that tell a much broader story and experience, I don't understand it. And I cannot sit back and act like it's not happening. I cannot sit back and act like everything, all of this is normal. It's not normal. We are living in a world that is truly, I mean, if we're going to talk about crazy, the system that we're living in is crazy. That it would attempt to keep human beings in this state. That it even believed, that those in power even believed that it could contain a human being or human beings that actually realize their realness, their trueness, who they really are, their connection, their what? Oh my God! Mm, 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 mm. But you know, who here's a person who, I mean, I'm here talking. There's someone here. Hello. But who's listening? You're listening, and that's all that matters. Someone is able to hear this. This is it's a very hard sell for me. I've been trying to buy this for a while, but it's a very hard sell for me. Bombshells, hello. It's a very hard sell for me because I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who is experiencing their awareness of themselves and the environment that we live in at large. I know I'm not the only one. And so I just, as I sit back and I look and I watch and I observe the scenarios and the situations that are occurring in the world, I don't understand. But I guess I do understand. The idea of stepping forward on any platform, in front of anyone, frankly, to say that I know that I am the God, a God in my life experience, and that you are too. I know that I am love. I know that. I don't have any, I know that. That is difficult to do on any platform in front of anyone. So I do understand it. I do understand how the pressures of those who you met along your life experience and how they have adapted to the world and their life experience, how you don't want to be different, you don't want to stand out, but there's just nothing that can be offered to me that would get me to continue to comply with that for the remainder of my life. There's no amount of money that can be offered, and it has been offered. I'm not blind to the fact that the powers that be know who I am just as much as I know that they exist. I mean, I know who they are specifically, but I know they exist. So I also know that there's always something that's being thrown my way, but I don't want that shit. Excuse my language. It ain't enough money that would make me say, "Oh, I don't need to talk about this." What is money gonna do for me? I mean, not enough money to shut me up. You know, I have in the past, like, always felt the need to be politically correct, right? To show up in a certain way, because I didn't want to, bring reproach on my family and things like that. I didn't want, the people who are connecting me to look at me, for me to shed a bad light on them, or, I felt like it was necessary to maintain an image, because, that's kind of how the system is designed. Is, if you present or maintain a certain image, then what you say will be received much better, right? More credible, and all of that other whatever. But I don't have no desire to dress up and play for anyone, because I know what I'm saying. I know who I am. I'm fully aware of who I am. I know what I'm saying. I don't have any desire to play that game. I don't want to play on that game I don't want to play on those terms. I'm not going to play that game. No way. No way. No way. No. This is insanity. It's insanity. And I'm accepting of that. I have no problem at all taking the role of the person that's insane, if it will free the millions of others. Okay. If it frees one other. Criminal is like not even a word. It's not even. It doesn't even begin to. I don't know. As I speak, I think to myself, are you blaming? Are you blaming right now? Eh, I'm not blaming, but I am definitely. I'm conscious that there is a presence. There are entities. There are forces, i.e., there are people, because we're all a force. We are all forces. So I'm not blaming, but I am consciously aware that there are entities and people that exist that utilize their knowledge and their power in order to keep the masses unconscious of themselves. And I have been aware of that for too long and simply haven't spoken on it, because I've wanted, the people around me to, like, don't you see what's going on? We got to talk about it. I've wanted, like, let me get a crowd of people to, like, rally together behind me, but I don't need that, because at the end of the day, if it's still not, I'm still not feeling fulfilled. I'm still not feeling like I'm doing what I'm not doing, because I haven't been speaking at all, or not speaking about that, because truthfully, what they were experiencing and what I am experiencing as me is totally different. So I have to speak on my experience. Um, I mean, it makes me think, with all of the things that that I do, all the places that I show up. This isn't the only place I show up. Obviously, I show up in person with people in different ways, shapes, and forms. Business wise, friendships, familial, And it makes me think, like, how do I move forward in those relationships? How do I show up? I'm not trying to force anybody to change their way of being. I just simply, I have to show up without altering myself, without changing myself, without shrinking myself when I'm in the presence of someone who has not acknowledged or accepted themselves. And I think in times past, I would want to, I would want to have some conversation, you know, essentially very similar to what I'm saying here. I would want to like talk about it, like, you know, really like, well, I would want to pull them out of that everyday hustle that most people are in, to talk about like our real lives. Like, how are you managing this? How are you moving through this experience? I mean, the rise of like mental health issues is a real thing because the system that we live in is backwards, it's upside down. Therefore, it's throwing our balance off, us as human beings, what our true nature is and what our true abilities are, and our awareness of ourselves as a being, as a living being. So, yeah, it is real because the environment makes it so. So, I have to show up, standing firm, standing grounded and centered in myself, not allowing myself to be altered or be changed or try to meet wherever they are at that time that I'm meeting with the person. I have not done that in the past. In the past, I have typically adjusted myself depending on who it was, but I don't have. I mean, that's more detrimental to me to do. To consciously, or excuse me, to constantly adjust myself, to adjust my energy so that I can, you know, be a part of the world. No. No, it does not serve me, and it doesn't serve the person that I'm interacting with, because it's my responsibility as being an aware being that I must shine up. Excuse me, I must show up in my light. That's my responsibility because I'm consciously aware, because I know. If I didn't know, that would be a different story, but I do know. So, I have kept myself indoors. I've kept myself in a box, or you know, in my little cubby hole, in my turtle shell. I've been in hermit mode for a while. Um, and I can't do that any longer. I can't do that physically. I can't really keep hold up. And I can't, you know, I have to express this. It's required of me. It is being, I mean, I've been talking here for 79 minutes, and prior to this I recorded another video. I don't know how long it was. So this is really like part 2. But I'm required to show up for as long as necessary. There's something that is being called forward. There are messages um, that are being called forward through me, and I have been in resistance to it because I felt like I was receiving it and my life was benefiting in a way by it, by being aware of it, by being conscious with it, by working with that energy. But I have also known that I have needed to be vocal. So that's what I'm doing. And I guess that I will show up um, as often as I'm being called to, for as long as I'm being called to speak and to um, provide whatever needs to come forward. Like I have also tried to be a person that is trying to direct what comes forward, what messages are being called forward through me, and even that has been not. I mean, it's been more of a stress than anything. So, being a person that is spiritual, I have brought messages through Oracle, but that's not even necessary. I just need to show up in my light. So, I think I'm looking at the time and I'm like, well, what are you going to do if you get off? What work are you going to do? Because this is the work. Maybe I'll just make myself some lunch. Oh my gosh, this is like, I feel. I don't know how I have felt, and I still feel a bit like a weight. Responsibility. I feel like I have not lived up to my responsibility in the past, that I've, sort of going with the flow of things, and years had passed where my close family, people that I know who are, you know, who are in an obvious state of suffering. I mean, what is life actually if we're not supposed to give of ourselves, give of knowledge, give of our wisdom to those that are in this life with us. Like, what truly are we here for? Other than to progress our own self, progress our own selves, evolve ourselves, and help others to evolve. What other reason would we be here? Definitely not to. I mean, I'm not trying to in any way rag on anyone's desire to, get an education, because there are certain things that I want to attain in this life. Get an education, have a family, get all the things, the cars, have the bank account, the businesses, the social status. I'm not ragging on any of that, but if you peel back all of those things, if you peel back the jewelry, the friends, the travel, if you peel back all of that, at the core of you are you still satisfied? If your spirit is not being realized, being true to itself, if it's not evolving and helping another soul or spirit evolve as well, I gather, as I'm sitting here, I'm gathering, like, people can evolve in all various ways. There are a number of things that will attract people into various circles, various people, influences, other souls and spirits, other human beings that maybe have a different approach. I don't know what made me think of finances just now. That's just kind of what came through. Like, we need education in a lot of different areas in order to experience some of the things that we want in life, the desires and the dreams that we have in life. We need education in various areas, finances being one of them for a lot of people. I've got flies in my house, which I hate flies, but I do have my door open as well, so that's the reason they're in here, but I'm just seeing them sort of flying around the screen. Anyway, excuse that. Sometimes I feel, as I work on projects, as I sit here at my desk and I'm looking at the things that I have here on my desk, and I think about the projects that I am involved in, that I have myself involved in. And I usually work them. I work certain projects for a while, and then for many of them, some of them in the past, I have quickly lost interest. And I feel like it's because I quickly realized it wasn't what was going to satisfy what I was yearning for. It wasn't going to meet what my heart's desire was. My heart's desire is to walk this planet, this existence, knowing who I am, knowing that I have a birthright that has been handed down to me, that is being handed down to me through my lineage, through my ancestors, through my DNA. spiritually and physically. That spiritual lineage, that spiritual birthright, I have the ability to materialize, to realize it into physical form. My heart's desire has only always been to reconnect to that truth and allow myself to be able to operate fully in that awareness and that knowledge and that power. And I knew that in my doing so, that those that encountered me, those who were around me, who interacted with me, would get a piece of that. They would feel that uh, they would feel that influence by their interaction with me, not just, for my sake, but that they would connect with it because it's something that resides within them. I have watched other people, and I can say that I've never wanted to be a person that was in the public eye. I mean, I wanted to work with certain people, I wanted to meet certain people, but I never wanted to be a public face of any sort of movement, or it's just, I've not envisioned that. Maybe that's not completely true, but I've definitely shied away from being a person that speaks out, to be the voice of any type of movement, but I just really want people to be able to live their lives as free beings. That's it. I don't want to walk this planet as a person that believes that they're not free, even though I see evidence that I am every day. I don't want to contribute to an environment that reinforces the idea that all human beings that are walking this planet are not free beings. I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want my energy to be attached to that. That's not the legacy that I choose to leave. It's been an hour, it's 94 minutes. Um, I think I'm going to leave it right there. Even though in my mind I'm hearing, what are you leaving it for? What do you have to do? I do have something to do. I have an email to send. Oh, that's really important. It is important. It is important. So yes, I am going to leave it right here. I will return for another conversation. Um, it's been a while since I've done a live, and this is the first time that I've actually done a live speaking in this way, speaking very direct and speaking, my true feelings, my true observations, my lived experience. Hopefully this was helpful. Most of the time when I record information, when I record anything, audio or video, which I do both, the messages or the reason that I'm recording is so that I can listen back to it, so I can reinforce myself. This is not, as I said before, there are forces in place that are at work all the time that want us to forget who we are, that don't want us to come into self-actualization and self-realization. So I listen to my own talks in my own voice, reinforcing what I know to be true. So, I don't post that often. Maybe I'll try to post a bit more often, or at least that's the reason that I came on live. Actually, yeah, that's the reason that I record this live, is because instead of recording it for myself, I'll just record it here. I can always listen back myself, but anyone has the freedom to find this video, and when the time comes, when it is needed in your life, you will. So, thank you for being here, whether you are here now. I appreciate you, or even if you are on the replay. Yeah, see you on the next one. Peace.